Y'all, the internet is on fire again, and this time, brace yourselves, Rosie O'Donnell just might be the unexpected hero of this whole Diddy downfall saga. Yes, you heard that right. Miss Tell It Like It Is, Rosie from daytime talk show royalty is back, and she's brought receipts that are decades old, sharp as ever, and ready to slice through all the Hollywood fake smiles.
A lot of multiple nominees, multiple Grammy nominees this year. Lauryn Hill's got 4, TLC's got 8, and Sean Combs 5 to 10. Get it? Like he's going to jail?
Right.
All right.
He did the ultimate no. You don't do that. And he did that, and I'll never take him back. So it's a done deal. He killed it. He did. He really did.
It was one of those type of situations. And when people say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas. Man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said.
2 decades ago, while the world was too dazzled by glitzy red carpets and Grammy night glam to notice the shadows creeping behind the scenes, Rosie O'Donnell said what nobody dared to. And guess what? It turns out she wasn't joking. That one-liner that had the audience cackling on live TV, that wasn't a punchline, it was a prophecy. Lauryn Hill's got 4, TLC's got 8, and Sean Combs 5 to 10, as in years. Yep, let that marinate. At that time, Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, was tangled in a web of scandal. Gun charges, nightclub chaos, his name floating around in circles, no PR firm could polish clean. But Rosie wasn't throwing shade for fun, baby. She was standing like a mama bear beside the TLC girls. And it wasn't just a girl gang giggle fest. If you watch closely, like really look at that clip, you'll see Chile's face. That laugh, too loud, too forced. That was the kind of laugh that screams, girl, if you only knew. Fast forward to today, and Diddy's being investigated for everything from trafficking to racketeering. The receipts are falling out of the industry's designer handbags left and right. And Rosie? She's on TikTok now, y'all. Literally showing up like, took y'all long enough, so buckle up, this rabbit hole is deep. And Rosie wasn't the only one dropping hints back then. The whole industry was throwing shade in code. And now that shade is being decoded under a whole new spotlight. Picture this, February 2000, Grammy Awards in full glitz mode. TLC was it, fresh off record-breaking hits, and Diddy just skated out of a club shooting drama that should have buried his career. Rosie O'Donnell, she was the unfiltered, fearless queen of daytime, cracking jokes that held more truth than anyone wanted to admit. So when Rosie invited TLC Left Eye T-Boz and Chile onto her show, the vibe seemed playful until Rosie dropped that infamous joke.
A lot of multiple nominees, multiple Grammy nominees this year. Lauryn Hill's got 4, TLC's got 8, and Sean Combs 5 to 10. Get it? Like he's going to jail?
Right.
All right.
Cue the giggles. Chile snorted, but that laugh, it carried weight. It wasn't carefree, it was heavy. You could feel it. That nervous chuckle when the truth is too raw to say out loud. She tried to cover it, but girl, the mask slipped. And let's talk about Usher, because at that time, Chile was romantically involved with him. But this wasn't just some celeb couple fluff. No. Usher had just come out of a so-called mentorship with Diddy that's now being looked at sideways, and not just sideways, all the way upside down. People now say that mentorship looked more like a grooming pipeline than a career launch pad. And what Chile knew back then, probably a lot more than she let on. Because don't forget, Rosie didn't just hear gossip. She lived 2 doors down from Diddy on Star Island. Sis was in the neighborhood. She saw things, heard things. Things that can't be unsaid. In a 2023 TikTok, Rosie spilled a little more tea.
Now, P. Diddy was my neighbor on Star Island. And although I only met him once, he did invite me to his New Year's Eve party, which I believe everybody was wearing white, but we didn't know. And we had on like sweatpants, me and my family and my kids.
She remembered getting turned away from one of Diddy's infamous all-white parties because, get this, she and her fam didn't wear white. So what did Diddy do to make it up to her? He rented out an entire movie theater for Rosie and her kids. Now, come on, that ain't a gift, that's guilt wrapped in cash. That's please don't tell anyone what you saw energy. Rosie brushed it off as kindness back then, but now her voice shakes a little. The grief underneath those laughs is real. It's like someone who wanted to believe the best, but now can't unsee the ugly truth. And y'all, that TLC interview, it's making the rounds online like a final piece of a puzzle people ignored for too long. Because what if Rosie wasn't just being funny? What if she was straight up warning us? What if Chile's laugh wasn't a laugh?
which was so unbelievably over the top and extraordinary, you know.
But a cry coded in comedy. Let's go deeper. Let's rewind the clock. Because what Chile saw and what she lived goes so far beyond celebrity drama. We're talking about Usher, the R&B prince of the early 2000s, who grew up under Diddy's wing and not in a sweet uncle mentor way. We're talking about a 14-year-old boy sent to live with Diddy in his penthouse for a year. They called it Flavor Camp. But honey, that wasn't no summer retreat. That was Diddy's twisted boot camp for building stars. And what happened behind those penthouse doors? Allegedly, nightmare fuel.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Chile saw Usher up close. She heard things, the kind of confessions that come out during long tour nights, whispers in the dark, pillow talk dipped in trauma. And that's why that laugh on Rosie's couch wasn't light. It was loaded. She knew. And she kept her distance from Diddy for a reason. Even at award shows, she moved like she had radar, like she knew who not to talk to, who not to stand beside. The kind of survival instincts that don't come from rumors, they come from truth. Multiple sources now claim that Chile has quietly pulled women aside over the years to warn them. Don't go to that party. Say you have a curfew. Just stay away. And the reason she never did a tell-all is when you know that much, silence isn't weakness, it's protection. Now back to Usher. And this part gets dark. He was 14, y'all, living with Diddy at a penthouse in an environment where grown men partied every night. Substances flowed like champagne and rumors flew like paparazzi flashes.
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
And then there's Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, who flat out claimed there was a situation between Diddy and Usher, one that allegedly left Usher in the hospital.
It was one of those type of situations. And when Spivey say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas. Man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent her to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said.
Word on the street is that Usher's mother confronted Diddy. Whispers of infections. Security footage Kim Porter allegedly saw. Footage that, if true, broke her. And yet, in a recent interview, Usher still thanked Diddy, said he taught him everything. That wasn't praise, y'all. That was pain in disguise. That was survival mode.
But he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation.
And when you see Usher around Diddy now, the body language says it all. That stiff smile, that nervous energy, that's not love, that's fear with a side of trauma.
Usher, how you been, man? I've been seeing you so long.
How much did we drink?
I don't even know what's going on. You trying to say something, Usher?
I'm trying to say something.
What do you want to say?
I don't know if I should, but I'm trying. Well,
So when Rosie cracked that joke and Chili laughed way too hard, that was decades of truth breaking through the surface. And it doesn't stop there. The rumors only get louder from this point. The whispers say that something happened to Usher that changed him, and it might have left more than emotional scars. There's even talk that he caught something and possibly passed it on. To who? The industry has always side-eyed in the timeline with Chile. Fans swear that breakup wasn't just about cheating.
He did the ultimate no-no. You don't do that, and he did that, and I'll never take him back. So it's a done deal. He killed it. He did. He really did.
Chile's never confirmed anything, but the way she cut Usher off was cold. Not petty cold, survivor cold.
My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented.
Chile loved Usher. She called him her first adult love. But when she left him, it was final. And insiders, they say it wasn't just cheating. It was something darker. Something Usher confessed. Something that made her walk away from not just Usher, but Diddy's entire world. She never did a tell-all. But her silence was louder than words. Dodging questions, warning young women, don't drink there, leave before midnight. That's not gossip. That's survival. And Diddy? He was running Flavor Camp, a twisted boot camp for fame. Usher was just 14, living in Diddy's penthouse. Not for a weekend, for a year. That's not mentorship, that's manipulation in designer clothes. Then Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, dropped a bomb. Something happened. Usher allegedly landed in the hospital. Infection rumors, a confrontation from his mother, and footage that Kim Porter supposedly saw, and it broke her. She was going to go public. Then she died. Usher later praised Diddy on Club Shay Shay, but that smile, empty. And his body language around Diddy, uncomfortable, stiff, haunted. So when Rosie cracked her infamous joke and Chile laughed a little too loud, it wasn't comedy. It was truth trying to escape. And now the darkest rumor yet, Usher allegedly contracted something during that time, and fans believe Chile paid the price. She didn't just leave Usher, she slammed the door, stayed silent, and played it safe, not as a victim, but as a witness. Let's not forget, Kim Porter died. Cassie testified about blackmail tapes. Tupac's name still haunts Diddy's orbit. And Rosie, she warned us years ago. Loud and clear. Then there's Jaguar Bright.
I can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to find out what's really been going on in the background.
She claimed a top lawyer walked in on Diddy and Christopher Williams in a compromising moment. They didn't even flinch, just kept going. Then came Exhibit, calling his New Year's party with Diddy the gayest night of his life. Wendy Williams, been side-eyeing Diddy for decades. And the bodyguards, Gene Deal wasn't alone. So many ex-staff have said the same. Locked doors, secret meetings, half-dressed men escaping hotel suites. Old interviews now feel chilling.
They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Right. Gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the doors.
Yeah, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat.
Back then, we laughed. Now, we flinch. And then comes Justin Bieber. Usher discovered him. Diddy swooped in, bought him a Lambo, let him sleep at his mansion, called it mentorship. Sound familiar? Justin pulled away fast. There's actual footage of Diddy confronting him. Justin looked like he wanted to run.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
After Diddy's arrest, Justin ranted on Instagram, unfollowed Usher, deleted tweets, and vanished. Usher's tweets about Diddy disappeared too. He blamed hackers. Really? Fans believe Usher knew and still brought Justin into it. Trauma? Loyalty? Or just the cycle repeating? Because if it's true, Usher didn't heal. He passed on the pain. Now with the feds crawling through Diddy's history, Usher is being watched too, not as a suspect, but as a witness, a key one. Because Diddy, he's not just one man. He's a blueprint for an industry that preys on the vulnerable and calls it opportunity. And the names? Cuba Gooding Jr., Meek Mill, Justin, redacted in court documents, but their stories may be coming. Kanye even claimed Diddy paid for Kris Jenner's surgery to silence her, allegedly. And Kim Porter, the woman who had the tapes, gone before she could speak. So let's be real. Rosie wasn't joking. Chile wasn't giggling. Usher wasn't grateful. And Justin, he ran. Maybe we all should have listened when the whispers started. So how deep does this rabbit hole go? That's up to you. Drop your thoughts, hit subscribe, and stay locked in. Because this story, oh honey, it's not even close to over.